Hello, welcome everyone. How is your learning? Are you all completed your preparation? Here, I am here with you to explain something about the grammar translation method. It is one of the important topics for studying HSA English examination that is approaching. Okay, let's see some more important points about this method. Okay, let's start. So here we have to study so many teaching methods, and one among that is grammar translation method, and it is the oldest among all the teaching methods or English. And this method is better known as the grammar translation method, and it is considered to be a classical method of teaching English. Okay, it is the classical method of teaching English. The philosophy behind this method is that the foreign language can be taught or learned through translation. That means the target language and the vocabulary of that language, various usage, etc., can be learned through translation into the mother tongue. Okay. Here each phrase or sentence of English is taught by translating it into mother tongue. The grammar translation method instructs students in grammar and provides vocabulary with direct translations to memorize. Okay, here all the grammar rules and the meanings of the vocabulary, all these are asked to memorize. Okay, the grammar translation method derived from traditional approaches to the teaching of Latin and Greek, and it was the predominant method in Europe in the 19th century. Okay, this method was used for teaching the classical languages like Latin and Greek in Europe in the 19th century. It was rather widespread for learning foreign languages, though by the end of the century, moves towards the direct method were noticed. Okay. Till the finding of direct method, this method was used widely all over the world for learning foreign languages. The most relevant principles of this method can be summarized as follows. First one, let's see the important points or principles of this method. First one, it emphasizes the study and translation of the written language, and it is considered superior to spoken language. So, the most important point about the principles of this method, it is that it emphasizes written language rather than spoken skill. Okay, the speaking skill is not given much importance, whereas writing skill is given much importance. Okay, and they are learned by studying and translating each and every word and usages of the target language, means English. Then reading and writing are the main language skills. Out of the four skills of the language, namely reading, writing, speaking and listening, reading and writing were given more importance, means they were considered as the main language skills. Then the student's native language is the medium of instruction and used as well to compare with the language studied. So that means all the grammar rules, etc., are explained in the native language of the student. That means for teaching the language, a teacher is not at all using the English language, but the teacher is using their native language. Okay. If a Malayali teacher is teaching English, that teacher will explain each and every word in the Malayalam language. Okay, that is grammar translation method. Okay. Then the structural patterns of two languages are compared, and this comparison makes learning more clear and firm. And while they are teaching the grammatical structures of the language, they will compare it with their mother tongue, and that means their structural patterns of the mother tongue and English will be compared, and through their comparisons they are learning the structural patterns, means grammar. The fundamental principle of proceeding from known to unknown is followed throughout. Okay, the fundamental principle of teaching this grammar translation method is that we have to travel from known to unknown. That means known means the target language. Sorry, not target language, that's mother tongue. Known means mother tongue. The child who is coming to the school is already well versed in their mother tongue, right? So it's known language. So from this, by using this known language, a child is learning the unknown language, that is English. Then successful learners are those who translate each language into other, though they cannot communicate orally. As it is not giving much importance to the speaking skill, children are not able to speak in English fluently, but they are well versed in translating and writing in English. Students have to know verb conjugations and other grammatical paradigms. Okay, the knowledge of rules helps the learners to avoid any types of mistakes. So as the students are learning all the grammar rules in the English language, they will not have any confusions related to the grammatical paradigms, etc. And they will not commit any mistakes, especially in the written language. Teachers play an authoritarian role in the classroom, and the predominant interaction is between teacher student. Okay, so that it is not a child-centered method where the teachers play an important role. He or she will be the authoritarian, means leader of the classroom. Whatever the teacher is saying, that the students have to obey. The grammar translation method focuses on the teaching of the foreign language grammar through the presentation of rules together with some expectations. They will give some set of rules, okay, through presenting some rules the teachers are teaching, and all the vocabularies will be translated into the mother tongue. Translation is considered to be the most important classroom activity. Okay, that means the teacher will give some words to learn the meanings, and the students will by heart the word and the meaning will be in their mother tongue. Okay, they will by heart, and the children are learning, and this translation is the important classroom activity. The main procedure of an ordinary lesson follows this: a presentation of a grammatical rule followed by a list of vocabulary, and finally translation exercises from selected texts. That is the lesson plan of a grammar translation method following classroom. Okay, then let's see some of the activities followed in grammar translation method, and answering comprehension questions on the text. And now also it is very popular. Comprehension passages will be there, and the students are reading and they are giving answers to the questions. Then students find antonyms and synonyms words in the text, and they will find out synonyms and antonyms from the text, and vocabulary is selected from the reading texts and memorized. The set of vocabulary will be given, and the meanings will be given in the mother tongue, and they will by heart it. Okay, they will memorize it. Sentences are formed using new words, and some words will be there, and they have to make sentences by using them, fill in the blanks questions, writing compositions, etc. All these exercises or activities are based on the grammar translation method. Okay, and let's see some of the advantages of this method. By telling the meaning of a word or sentence in mother tongue, the teacher can at once make the students understand. Okay, advantage means the teacher can pass the meaning of the text to the student very easily, because she can or he can explain it in the mother tongue. And the students are able to learn many items of English by comparison with mother tongue. By learning, while they are learning grammar rules, etc., they can compare to their mother tongue, the grammar of the mother tongue, sentence structure, etc., and they can learn the rules very easily. And the comprehension of the students can be tested very easily. And also, if we are giving a text in English, and if we are asking them to read, and after that, if the student is giving the meaning of the text in the mother tongue, teacher can understand whether the student has comprehended the text meaning properly or not. And the comprehension tests are very easy. Then knowledge is acquired gradually by transversing the facts of language and the syntactic mechanisms, going from simplest to the most complex. So simple to complex, from known to unknown, that is a method, that is a very flexible method for following. And learning grammar, the students examine the students, developing awareness that language constitutes a system which can be analyzed. And then let's see some of the disadvantages of this method. No account of present-day language usage is presented. Norms are imposed from great literary authors. Norms means rules are imposed from great literary authors. That means if we are following any guides or any books related to the usages of the language, we are following whatever rules are given by the author of that book are by hearted. Okay, these rules are followed and by hearted by the students. The blind by hearting is taking place there. Then secondary grammatical points, lists of forms and examples receive a lot of attention. Some definitions and explanations are often incoherent because of their heterogeneous criteria. Thus, facts about the language are confusing for the students. Okay. Secondary grammatical points like lists of forms and examples. It will receive a lot of attention. That means structure of sentences are given much attention. But some definitions and explanations are often not understood properly because of their heterogeneous criteria. Okay. Practical lessons are not given much importance. Only the structures and their by hearting are given more importance. It gives predominant place to morphology but neglects syntax. Okay. Morphology is given much importance, but it neglects syntax. That is one of the most important disadvantage or demerit of this method. Therefore, what will happen? Rules enabling the learners to construct systematically correct complex sentences are not presented. Okay, and translations are often unsatisfactory as they are done word by word. Word by word translations are followed in this method. And word by word translation, what is a disadvantage of this method? Word by word translation will have a disadvantage that translations will not be that much satisfactory. The students have to learn a lot of grammatical terms and too much weight falls on their memories. Memorizing is given much importance and students are by hearting all these grammatical terms and rules blindly. And frustration on the part of students and lack of demands on teachers are the effects of this method. Teachers have no work, they have to just lecture and they are going, and the students are to by heart the lessons, and the frustration will be there in the part of students. Then, so the teaching of grammar consists of a process of training in the language rules which must make it possible to all the students to express their opinion correctly or to understand the remarks which are addressed to them and to analyze the texts which they read. So the objective is that by the time they leave college or school, the students control the tools of the language which are vocabulary, grammar, orthography, etc. And they are able to read, understand and write texts in various contexts. But what is a disadvantage? Unfortunately, this method gives little attention to listening and speaking skills. These skills are not given much importance, and the result is the inability of students to use language for communication. When they are coming to real life, they are not able to understand or comprehend the language by listening, and also they are not able to express their feelings through communication. They are not fluent in communicative English. We find that this method has a few both merits and drawbacks. It can be successfully used at higher education institutions for teaching foreign languages for professional communication, but it must be combined with other methods. We consider that the teacher should use a variety of methods to teach a second language, as each student is unique and will respond well to a particular method. A good teacher should make use of the items that he or she has and the learning styles of the students. So, each styles should be adopted by considering the style or nature of the classroom and the uniqueness of each child. It's all about the grammar translation method. Thank you for listening to me. Bye bye.